All right, what's going on, guys? We're back at Calvin's house. Going to work on the car. Obviously, you can see we got the motor popped, or the got the hood popped. Yo, hold up! What is going on here? Do you see this? This man's just drilling into my car. Jeez,
well,
watch out!
It, dude. It's a little crusty.
What's going on?
Just film your intro, dude.
Yeah, so we're getting started. Those of you that might not have known, that was not an active hole.
That's good now, though. It's mint now.
This hole had no threads, so I had it zip tied for the radiator support. Calvin just drilled it out, so now we're going to tap it, and then we gotta put a bolt in there. Yeah, I'll tap it out.
Yeah, why is there a paintbrush out here?
Yeah, did you bring that out?
Yeah.
What was that for?
I don't know.
Yeah, so that's what we're getting started with first. I don't know if I've shown you guys. I cleaned up my headlight, so how about that? All you haters can like quiet it down. All right, I sanded it. Calvin, the homie, obviously clear coated it. Thanks, bud. Appreciate you.
Still needs work because they're gonna give you on the right side, the right side of the driver's side. If you're looking at it.
That side, yeah. All right, so I'm going to be taking this apart and we're going to be fixing that, but just, you know, wait on it. So, dude, back at it again. Calvin's just going to town. I asked him, like, how do I do it? And here we are. He's doing it. So let's watch and learn.
Hit your mic there, bud.
Oh, you did hit the mic there, bud.
Oh,
watch your bells.
Is going to be Calvin Takes Initiative.
Yeah. Calvin now is Ryan's mechanic.
Yeah.
Because your car is just a rusty piece.
Crusty piece.
Yeah.
There you go.
Alright, you can finish it off.
Thanks, bud.
I got stuff to paint.
I got stuff to tap.
Yeah. Learn, dude. Learn a bit.
Thank you.
Learn.
So we got a brand new hole now. That's pretty sweet. Brand new hole. Alright, so the last thing you saw, I was at Calvin's and we were working on my car, which is actually outside now, and we were putting that bolt in for the radiator support. So we got that all squared away, that's all fixed. We just, as you saw, we tapped and drilled and put in new threads, or I guess tapped new threads. So now we're with Jordan, and Jordan's got some exciting news.
We have a Fender Flair kit for my car. So tonight we are going to test fit the Flairs. I actually started that last night when I first got them because I was too impatient. I just want to see it for myself. But we're going to do it again tonight with some better tape and just kind of mock it up. And I'm going to try and see if we can put the wheel adapter that he had for his car that were a 5x100 lug pattern to a 114. We're gonna try and put like my wheel on that and obviously not drop it on the ground, but kind of get an idea of how much more, like if I were to switch wheels, how much of a wider wheel will I need, or how much of a spacer am I gonna have to run. So let's go ahead and throw the kit on, and then from there we'll show you guys the fitment as is. And from there we're gonna jack up the car and then kind of like pull the wheel out a little bit and then throw the spacer on and see how much we're actually gonna have to like switch the setup. So let's do it. So I have a kind of an interesting setup and an interesting story behind it. So obviously the car has primed fenders on the back, so this is kind of being in the back of my mind for like almost the last year, whether I should flare it or not, and finally got the opportunity in front of me. So the rear of the car is actually ABW rear fender flares, and then the front of the car is Carlton flares. So my boss at work actually had this ABW kit just sitting in the shop, so I picked that up off of him, and then the fronts I bought from Carlton. I actually like the fronts of the Carltons better, but then I also want the rears to be ABW, and I think these look better than the Carltons. So I kind of like accidentally found the setup that I wanted to go with anyways, and not too many people do this. I mean, when you buy the kit online, normally you buy the whole thing. I bought like half of it online. It's an interesting setup. I think it looks really good. They kind of complement each other better. So yeah, let's go ahead and mock this up, and then we will kind of like show you guys what our fitment's looking like right now and what we need to be at. Alright, door piece is on. This one is pretty much the easiest piece to kind of line up. You can see kind of at this angle how much wider it is than the normal, I guess, door. So it comes down, it kind of sticks out like that to cover up the wheel well in that spot, and then it joins up with the rest of the part that we need to put on right now. So let's go ahead and throw it on. One cool thing that I am pretty stoked about having the wide body on once it's done is that we can actually lower the car more, because now our wheels can actually fit kind of up inside rather than like how the wheels sit right now. If we were to lower it, it would pretty much just sit on the tire unless we had like massive amounts of camber. So once this sits out, we can kind of dial it in rather with like a new wheel or a new spacer and kind of just figure out that fitment that we want, and then we can lower it just a little bit more. So the biggest part that I kind of need to pay attention to in the rear is making sure that the door fitment is good, and this kit actually makes it way easier than the Carlton one in the rear to be able to close and open the door. So open, close, open, close. That fitment, actually, we haven't even trimmed it yet. It looks the exact same gap that the door has from factory. So once this kind of pulls out about right there looks like that line continues back up. This could come over just a hair. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but that's how it sits. Let me show you guys the fitment, how it is right now. Actually, with this kit on, it kind of exaggerates the camber the car has right now, which is not a lot, but the kit makes it look like I have a decent amount. Alright, so let's see if I can get this close enough. So right about there, you see how it's like tucking like way up, so we can push it out a little bit more. So we'll jack up the car and then kind of pull out the wheel, or at least put the spacer on and try and set the wheel on it, and then we can maybe like even lower the car without the adapter attached and kind of see what the fitment could look like with this wheel and tire setup. You ever seen those people just put washers on them?
On what? For spacers?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
No.
There you go, bud. Girth.
Now we see if we can even get this thing to kind of sit on there.
Get like one stud.
Yeah. And actually, it might
usually
even
one stud will obviously like line up, and then
might not even like work because it might like tilt it out. So we might have to do it by eye.
There you go, tilt.
Sick. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, no.
Gnarly.
You'd have to have so many.
That's dope.
So what we can do actually,
That's like
let's just do this. We can just lower the car with the wheel sitting on the ground.
dang, gotta be tight. Is that the tire?
Yeah. Actually, we can't even get the true fitment because the fender is still there. But we can see what we can do. Alright, we're gonna mock up the front side now. This is the Carlton side. This one I think fits a little bit, like just a hair tighter than the ABW, but yet again we still have to trim the rear because they are purposely cut for an STI rear end, which is actually slightly different. If you guys didn't notice on the STI, maybe we'll overlay a picture. It has a little bit of like a fender liner thing. I don't even know what to call it. It's like an extra like little bump out on the side, which the WRX does not have. So that's why they come with those guidelines on the side of where to trim it down if it's going on WRX. But let's do the front. So for the fronts, the way that this works is I actually had to tell Carlton that I have a front end of an STI, which once we get to that front piece, this piece doesn't matter. STI and WRX are the same. The front of like the smaller piece that'll go up towards on like the front of the bumper, that part is different. because the STI has these side splitters where it pokes out right here, and you're going to need a piece that kind of goes over that. So I'll show you guys that in a minute, but let's get the main portion on. We set it back quickly. Alright, here is your general idea. I think last night somehow I got the fronts to fit a little bit better. You can see like the back kind of pulls in, but obviously they're not bolted, so they're kind of, you know, flexing right now. Here's the front. Obviously needs a wider wheel as well. Looks good though, and no, we're not leaving them white. Here is the basic mock-up. So as you can see, front Carlton, rear is ABW. Those are a little bit like meatier looking. The front is just a hair thinner. I kind of like the look, as the front of the car comes pretty aggressive from factory. The rear has pretty much nothing. I was telling him it kind of like falls off. The front has like this kind of more aggressive looking fender where they pop out like that. It's got a nice like sharp angle to it, and the back, actually I can show you on the other side since we haven't done anything. The back just like doesn't do anything. But hey, that fitment though.
The back's got an angle here, it doesn't come out enough.
Yeah.
The rally one comes out like much farther.
Yeah. So this adds like a lot of personality to it for that rear. Because before it kind of just like doesn't do anything for you. So there's a basic idea. Car's pretty dirty right now, so don't mind that. But actually, yeah, seeing it from back here now, it looks pretty cool.
Alright guys, so that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Obviously we are still out here working on the car. We're just going to be doing an oil change. So like every video we're always doing like an oil change. So we're just going to close out the video now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video.
I guess the next time you see us is we're going to start trim the kit. And then from there we got to prime it. And then I'm still on the fence whether I'm going to paint them blue or not. Thinking about going with the LL Bean look, where the bottom half is that tan color. Just kidding. We might paint them blue, but the plan is to get the car wrapped in like right before spring anyways. So we could just drive it around looking like a half done car, which I don't really mind. But I don't know, depends on how expensive the paint actually is. We can paint them super easy at work and just run them blue for a little bit, but I definitely want to wrap the car anyways, to cover up the rest of like the body work that needs to be done. We got to redo the roof wrap, another gloss black. Next time you see us, we're probably going to be trimming the kit or doing something like that, so we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.